Nestled among the rolling foothills of Mount Makiling was a small village. Its inhabitants lived simple lives. They farmed the land and fished in the rivers. The village elders often gathered the children around flickering oil lamps. They told them tales of the mountain. They spoke in hushed tones of the Duwende, magical beings who lived deep within the forest. The Duwende were said to be small and powerful. They guarded the mountain's secrets. The elders warned the children to never disturb the peace of the forest. To do so would be to invite the wrath of the Duwende. These stories were a part of their heritage. They taught the children respect for the old ways and the unseen guardians of their world. Lila was a girl with eyes that sparkled with mischief and curiosity. Her laughter echoed through the village, full of life and a thirst for adventure. While other children were frightened by the tales of the Duwende, Lila was intrigued. She yearned to see these magical creatures with her own eyes. Her grandmother, Lola Esme, often caught her staring dreamily towards the forest's edge. Lola Esme would gently chide her, reminding her of the stories. She would tell Lila that it was not a place for young girls to wander, but Lila's curiosity was a flame that wouldn't be easily extinguished. One afternoon, Lila decided to venture into the forest. She told no one, knowing they would stop her. The air grew heavy as she entered the woods. Shadows danced around her feet. Strange calls of unseen creatures echoed through the trees. Lila felt a shiver run down her spine. Still, she pressed on. Deeper and deeper she went, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. The forest seemed to hum with a life of its own, a secret world hidden from ordinary eyes. Lila stumbled upon a clearing bathed in an ethereal glow. In the center stood a circle of ancient trees. Beneath them, tiny figures danced and twirled. Their laughter was like the tinkling of bells. They were the Duwende, just as the stories described. Their skin shimmered like moonlight on water. Their clothes were woven from leaves and flower petals. They moved with a grace and speed that captivated Lila. She stood mesmerized, hidden among the trees, afraid to breathe lest she disturb the magical scene. Lila, in her awe, leaned too far forward. The branch beneath her foot snapped. It echoed like thunder in the silent clearing. The Duwendes' dance came to a halt. Their heads swiveled towards Lila, their eyes burning with an otherworldly light. Fear gripped Lila's heart. She had been discovered. She wanted to run, to apologize, but her feet felt rooted to the spot. The magic of the clearing seemed to hold her captive. The Duwende were not the benevolent creatures of the stories. Their faces were etched with anger. The Duwende advanced towards Lila. Their leader, adorned with a crown of thorns, pointed a gnarled finger at her. He spoke in a voice that seemed to reverberate through her very being. "You have intruded upon our sacred dance," he boomed. "For this you shall bear a mark." A cold wind swept through the clearing. Lila felt a strange tingling sensation spread through her body. She tried to speak, to beg for forgiveness, but no sound escaped her lips. Then, as quickly as it had begun, the wind died down. The Duwende vanished. The clearing was plunged into an eerie silence. Lila, trembling with fear, stumbled back the way she came. The forest no longer held any wonder, only a chilling terror. She ran until she reached the familiar path to her village. She burst into her grandmother's hut, breathless and sobbing. Lola Esme held her close, soothing her with gentle words. Lila, between gasps, told her of the Duwende and their dance. Lola Esme listened patiently. When Lila was finished, Lola Esme sighed. "You should not have gone into the forest, child," she said. Days turned into weeks. The memory of the Duwende and their curse lingered in Lila's mind. At first, nothing seemed to have changed, but then, one day, something peculiar happened. Lila was playing with her friends, her laughter echoing through the village square. Suddenly, her laughter morphed into a series of high-pitched, echoing giggles. It was as if her laughter was being reflected back 1,000 times over. Her friends stopped playing, staring at her with a mixture of confusion and fear. Lila's laughter, once a source of joy, now sounded strange and unsettling. Word spread through the village of Lila's echoing laughter. Some children whispered that it was the Duwende's mark. They avoided her, afraid that they too would be cursed. Lila was heartbroken. She missed the easy camaraderie she once shared with her friends. She begged her grandmother to remove the curse. Lola Esme could only shake her head sadly. "The Duwende's magic is not easily undone," she said. Lila carried the Duwende's mark with her for the rest of her days. It became a constant reminder of her disobedience and the power of the unseen world. She learned to laugh softly, carefully, so as not to invite unwanted attention, but more importantly, she learned the importance of respecting the old ways. She understood that the forest was not just a playground, but a sacred place inhabited by powerful beings. And she, like the generations before her, became a keeper of their stories, ensuring that the legend of the Duwende lived on. Lila's story became a cautionary tale. It was whispered among the villagers, reminding them of the delicate balance between the human world and the realm of the Duwende. The laughter of children, once carefree, now held a note of caution, a reminder of the unseen forces that watched over them. And so Mount Makiling stood tall, its slopes cloaked in shadow and mystery. It served as a timeless reminder of the magic that thrived within its heart and the importance of treating all creatures, seen and unseen, with respect.